So an average practice would be waking up before the sun, usually around 6:30. Practice will start at 7 a.m. and our warm-up's pretty lengthy. It's about 30 to 40 minutes. And then at that point, the coach will break us off into our groups. The jumpers will do their thing. And then we have the cross-country people that usually go on long runs, and then you have your sprinters and mid-distance, and we can do anything that day from tempos to sprints to plyos to hills, whatever, you name it.
Waking up at 6:30 a.m. isn't so bad when you get to practice with your teammates who just become your best friends. And it's early, but practice is a lot of fun when you just get to mess around. And it's hard work, but we keep everything pretty lighthearted, so it's a fun time.
Practice usually ends around 8:15, 8:30, then we head into the weight room. And yeah, it's kind of tiring, but it's second nature at this point.
The weight room is extremely important. Essentially, it doesn't matter what event group you're talking about, whether you're talking about a sprinter or a jumper or a thrower, basically their ability to exert force through an implement, force through the ground, really is kind of built in the weight room to start with.
Being a student athlete is definitely hard sometimes, but it's worth it. I couldn't imagine my college experience without being a member of the track and field team here at Bloomsburg.
I think we have some pretty big expectations. On the women's side, we have a very veteran group returning with a good nucleus of young kids to add to the mix this year. Over the past 3 or 4 seasons, we've been able to kind of position ourselves in the top 5 in the conference, and really I think this is kind of a year that we're looking to really kind of break into the mold of being maybe 1 or 2. On the men's side, we have probably very conversely different team. We have a very young team, not a lot of seniors or not a lot of juniors for that respect, and so for them, it's about gaining experience. Certainly performance at our conference championship is always important. Our men's goal is always to finish inside the top 10 every year. Depending on how well we can certainly develop over the next 2 months, we'll really decide how that turns out, but certainly think that we can move up a couple spots from where we have been in the past couple years.
The work you put in is what you get out of it. You can't really expect to not give anything less than 100% every day and still be successful in competition. Training hard at practice is what it's all about. It makes you confident in your ability. I mean, I still get nervous, but I know that I'm prepared to get on track and do my best and show the other teams what I'm capable of.
It's always a challenge with the track team because it is an individual sport, but it's a team sport. And it really, the team aspect of it, I think, doesn't come to the forefront until you get to the tail end of the season. So you've been spending the whole season preparing each individual for their given event to the best of their ability, to then kind of add the sums together to get what is going to be the best team that you can come up with. But really, preparation is kind of a process that you're going to take on a yearly basis.
Week, baby!
So whether it's against another school or if it's teammate against teammate, we still support each other no matter what the end result.
Track is great because even though there are so many different event groups and we all technically compete against each other, we still show the utmost support for one another. Track and field is definitely an individual sport, but we come together as a team to train and push each other to be the best that we can.
How you feel about the first meet, Coach?
It's going awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, not only did they meet my expectations, I think they exceeded my expectations on a lot of fronts. We had 12 different women qualify in 14 different events for the conference championship. For the first competitive, contest of the year, that's competing at a pretty high level for us, and I'm really excited by that. Was really excited by by the depth of qualifiers, across the event spectrum. We had throwers qualified, we had jumpers qualified, we had sprinters qualified, we had distance runners qualified. So it wasn't like we just kind of hit it in one event, we were hitting it across the board. On the men's side, I wish we'd had a little bit more performance than what we came up with, but I felt like we performed well, we competed well, and certainly it gives us a lot of information of what we know now that we need to kind of improve on and get better on to move forward.
We got an amazing coaching staff and a great group of athletes to make this team what it is.
Let's go, 3, 1, 2, 3.